Okay, Mark.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order at 5:45.
Roll call. Chair Martin Gilmore,
Here?
Reese Adams. Here. Erica Crizzle. Here. Okay, thanks. Leah Moran. Here. Stacy Potash. Here. Shane Smith.
Here.
Vice Chair Kyle Conrad will be later. Well, about 6 or so, right? Excuse, we have Councilmember Chelsea Newnenkamp and English School Liaison Emily Ancona. Staff, we have Director Christina Underhill, Library and Cultural Arts Manager Bethany Lafferty, Event Supervisor Tony Arnoldy, and guests, we have City Manager Sean Lewis. All right, thank you.
Great. Let's take a look and see about approving the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, sorry. I mean, who moved? All right, thanks. And Martin, should we do introductions?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, let's do that first, I guess. Go around and introduce all the members. I'm Martin Gilmore. I'm the chair, I'm the current chair of the commission. And I've been on the commission since 2018. I'm a musician, educator. Yeah. Shane, you're new.
Oh, yeah, no, perfect. Shane Smith, new first day here. Excited to be here. Yeah, I guess my day job, I'm an insurance broker and yeah, excited to be part of this.
I'm Stacy Potash. I've been on for about a year, I think.
Year and a half.
It's a year and a half. I'm like, yeah, we're all the same time. Year and a half. I am a program manager for social services outside of this.
I'm Erica Creasel. I'm new as well, and I do creative projects like social media, marketing, graphic design, and photography for a local nonprofit.
I'm Reese Adams. I've been on the commission since I think 2020. I think it was like the height of the pandemic, like really early on in there. I was a chair before Martin, and my day job is working for a commercial insurance carrier, Markel.
Oh, nice.
Mhm. So, you know, obviously very creative.
My name is Leah. I've been on the commission, same as Stacy, since like January of last year. So that's like a year and a half, right?
Yeah.
My day job is I work for Apple Corporate. I work from home 9 to 5. Super exciting.
And we're missing Kyle, but she'll come in. She's the
Yeah,
vice
yeah.
chair. Back up to full strength. See. Should we go around Tony?
Hi, I'm Tony Arnoldi. I'm the city's event supervisor. Been with the city since 2005, but just in this role since 2020.
I'm Debbie Severa. I'm the executive assistant for Parks, Rec, Library, and Golf, and the staff liaison. I've been with the city, I was like, for over 30 years.
I'm Christina Underhill. I'm the director for Parks, Recreation, Library, and Golf, and my side job is photography, and I'm an abstract painter. But I've been with the city since January of 2020.
And I'm Sean Lewis, city manager, and I started with the city in 2019. In fact, I'm starting my 5th year at the end of the month.
Crazy.
Almost like a COVID city manager, though, to your point. about
It
going
feels
on
like, I remember
right
when your
before.
announcement, like when you joined, and it
Yeah.
just feels not that long ago.
Yeah, but also a lifetime ago.
Isn't that the ironic part?
I would say my creative outlet has been design and restoration of old houses. So my last city, I would flip a house every 2 years. So I did 3 houses in 6 years. And yeah, I've done that for a long time and just really like it. But I'm way too busy in this job to have time for that. I want to have a life and sleep. So
You did yours.
I mean, I've worked on mine. It was already pretty good, so.
Like the Englewood Preservation, like Society yourself.
I've actually been a member of Historic Inglewood for ever since I moved here. I'm a huge preservationist. I
That's cool.
love arts, culture, and preservation, so.
And then Beth, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Beth Lafferty. I'm the Library and Cultural Arts Manager. I'm sorry, I'm not putting on my camera. I'm at home doing home duties while doing work duties. But yeah, I've been at the City of Englewood for about 14 months.
Great. All right. Thanks. Now let's the minutes and see if we have a motion to approve.
I'll re-motion to approve them.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
All right, minutes are approved. Let's go ahead and no public comment today. So Sean, if you'd like to do a presentation on wayfinding and placemaking.
Thank you for the opportunity. I know we've been talking about this for a hot second, of me coming in and trying to kind of give the big picture of not even just wayfinding, but really overall placemaking, what we're doing as a community, where we've been kind of driving, trying to drive. And I just feel like this commission is a huge part of this. So, you know, a lot of what I'm mentioning, I mean, the CAC work is in here. It is a bigger picture, but I actually think y'all have the heavy in terms of like pushing us as an organization, you know, to do more and be more and make the city super cool and interesting. So we'll start with the challenge, and it is, we are in some opinions, average, but you know what? We're not average. We're better than average, and we want to make the community even more amazing. So this is from an organization called the Project for Public Places. And it talks about elements of a great place. So there are 4 kind of quadrants: uses and activities, comfort, image, access and linkage, and then sociability. And some of the interesting things that, you know, I had never really thought about until I dug into this is, you know, like on sociability, how welcoming is it? Is it interactive? Can you actually interact with it? Christina and I talked about, let's make the creek, Little Dry Creek Plaza, a place where you can touch the water. Of course, that's been a little challenge with all the flooding, but you know, and on uses and activities, making it, you know, playful, making it fun, making it active. And interesting, some terms here: indigenous, celebratory, comfort and image. It's got to be safe. It's got to be clean. It's got to be walkable, sittable. And then some of those kind of overlap with access and linkages. You know, it's got to be connected to other places. It's got to be, you know, accessible for people with disabilities, all of those types of things. So just an interesting, and I'll be glad to email this to Debbie if y'all want to see this. Again, this is totally stolen from this Project for Public Places, but I thought it was kind of a good grounding. This has kind of been our strategy for creating a sense of place and making Inglewood a place that like residents are proud of, that visitors to the city are like, oh, I've arrived. And I'm here, and this is a cool place. And so really starting with recognizable and connected neighborhoods. It's one of the first things that we kind of started 5 years ago, when realizing that, yeah, we just did not have recognizable neighborhoods. Neighborhoods weren't named, et cetera. Wayfinding and placemaking, which is, you know, kind of the topic I was given, but I'm expanding that a little. And then a cool downtown. So recognizable, connected neighborhoods, where we started. You know, we're a city of 7 square miles, but we have no HOAs, no official HOAs that like you have to pay dues, which is super interesting, right? There are no cities in this area that have no HOAs. Is that a strength? Is that a weakness? Who knows? But it certainly means we didn't have like organized groups in the city operating to advocate for their neighborhood. We had one named neighborhood, Arapahoe Acres, no really defined districts, a few neighborhood gathering nights. The exception of that was Tony's amazing work with National Night Out, which we had 34 National Night Outs, I think, groups in 2018. Yep. So thank you for that good work. But really, in terms of neighborhoods, you know, we were challenged. So now where we've gone with that is 40 named neighborhoods, long 2-year project working with the Historic Preservation Society. Yes, there's the amazing map. We have 25 neighborhood group leaders. We have 35 block parties outside of National Night Out, so excluding National Night Out. 18 backyard movie nights, which we created this kit for that. 4 neighborhood improvement grants, 9 neighborhood night events. Hopefully you've been going to those in the parks. And then 4 neighborhoods have, official neighborhoods have web pages that we are helping sponsor. So kind of go how we got there. In terms of our neighborhood program, we got funding for a program coordinator. And so now she's a neighborhood resource manager, I think is her title now. And she's really helped, work with that historic preservation group, preservation commission to name the neighborhoods, put together these kits and things. And I think I get into this. So we established those neighborhood boundaries and names. Hopefully all of you know exactly which neighborhood you're in. If you don't, there's now an opportunity to apply for grants to get your neighborhood signed with a sign and little street toppers telling where you are. This isn't just the process. I think most of you probably knew about this process. It's a video that you can look at on our YouTube page where the Historic Preservation Commission members talk about kind of how we engage the public in doing all of that. And then we also created tools for connection. So during COVID, we actually used that first round of COVID money called CARES, so it was CARES? CARES money to buy a block trailer because we told the feds and the county was our sponsor kind of for all of those funds. We've got to get people outside into safe spaces, but still where they can interact. Like the isolation is real, but we've really we're going to keep using this forever. Hopefully maybe even get more because this thing is booked every weekend. So we created these tools for connection. Another tool for connection was our website for each neighborhood, which we created. The backyard movie kits, which you can rent out. Those are also rented through, I think, October. But there are some weeknights you can still get available. And you just go through our neighborhood resources program. And then neighborhood signage. So we budgeted for 3 a year. This year we had 8 neighborhoods that applied for this signage, which is awesome. And we cut it off pretty early because we knew we didn't have funding. What we're doing though is since we only had funding for 3, we're using some of our wayfinding and placemaking funding because I feel like this is placemaking, it's wayfinding, and we're going to let 2 more neighborhoods come in under the program using that capital line item. But since 2023, at that time, 10 neighborhoods had applied. How we got there in terms of, again, neighborhood place, sense of place, neighborhood nights. So almost all of our parks have a neighborhood nights event. Is it this week that we have Romans?
Tonight.
Oh, it's not
Right now.
tonight.
It's right now.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I'll go faster. But yeah, neighborhood nights, which is super awesome. We have food trucks, bands. Lots of people come out for these. They're awesome. We also, here's where you all come in, because I think you all have been, helping with some of this. But the Cushing lot, we give a grant to the Cushing neighborhood to transform this awful parking lot into something cool with planters that are now planted, benches, and this amazing art on the road on the parking surface that was aided with the school district's art programs. Some like a community sharing box, Broadway Heights, little free library. Those are some of the projects that we funded with that. Next, we'll talk about wayfinding. And I apologize if I'm going fast. I just don't want to take up too much of your time. When I got here, these were our signs. And of course, old logo. It was an exact replica of downtown Denver's signs from about, I don't know, 87 or so, 1987 or so. They're not terrible, but not exactly what we wanted. So we had some traces of past efforts, decent public art with, the Outdoor Museum of Outdoor Arts, plus the work that you all have done, this commission throughout the years. And then one primary gateway, which was the grass at Broadway and Yale. That's really, that's a really nice gateway, actually. Wasn't very easy to see Inglewood. It was all grown up. And so where we've gone, I'm sorry, the top of this keeps getting cut off. So we created a wayfinding and placemaking master plan. The CAC, we had, I think, 2 members from that, from this group that were on that committee. A citizen committee. 2 primary gateways are coming this year. And actually, if you look to the far right of that picture on the bottom, that's the 2 gateways that are coming. The one's already under construction. That'll go at Bellevue and Broadway. as you come in from Littleton on that side. And then another one will go at Hamden and University. So that in front of that King Super, there's actually a really nice piece of art there. We're getting away, we're not gonna compete with that. So we're gonna put it in the right of way, in the CDOT right of way, kind of along Hamden. Still waiting on CDOT permission, as you all know, that struggle. And then we've got 15 secondary gateways that are all in. So they've all been built. And that's actually not on this, but I think I have a picture of it. 4 murals with the help of this commission, 7 traffic signal control box art wraps, thanks to this commission, and 2 custom art walks, again, thanks to this commission. So a couple of things. This was the wayfinding and placemaking guide. Would love for you to dig into this. Debbie, maybe we can send this out to you and a link to this. It's online. And then we created this, plan that was citizen driven. We actually sent out a postcard to every person and let them vote on which theme they liked. And and then council made the final decision. We also funded 150,000 over 3 years for wayfinding. So just the signage elements, which are these. That's the wayfinding plan minus the secondary gateways, which we designed separately. But yeah, so we've been really trying to fund that, and we broadened that out with the council to be placemaking and wayfinding. So I know Christina talked to us about like maybe using some money that y'all need that you don't have in your budget for more murals. Great, that's placemaking, right? It's all going to the same effect to try to make Inglewood cooler, I should say. And then how we got there, we also revamped the medians in Hamden. And you all know, because you've been struggling on that little square on the far left of that median design to, get art there. But I've heard you've made selections, and I'm really excited to see what you all have selected. It's going to be awesome just to get that. Again, it's not just like we have trees in our medians, but like we celebrate art and we want it to be quirky and interesting and unique, just like us. Next are those gateways. So there's, a little zoom in on the gateway. It's going to have, actually, we're working with the artist that did the planters, the metal flowers. He's giving us a design for like plants, metal plants for that can be changed out 3 times a year. Like there'll be like a holly kind of thing for Thanksgiving all the way to New Year's. There'll be like a spring mix, of tulips. I don't know what he's going to do. We haven't seen it yet, but we'd love for you all to look at that and give some feedback. But that will go inside that planter and sit at Bellevue and Broadway, and then Hamden and 285, Hamden University. And then the secondary gateways, of which 15 have been put in, those all replace the old 1980s style, curved arch. And it fits with the kind of this organic, it was called Wooded Nook was the name of the theme that we selected for our wayfinding plan. And so those all kind of go with that. We also, have you heard about the historic markers getting put in around town? Oh, okay, great. So Historic Inglewood, we worked with them to compile these stories of these buildings and places in the city. I think we've put in about 20 of these. And these are the ones that are in now are the ground mounted. So there's one in front of the post office, because that's a super historic building. We've also got markers that go on buildings that if we don't have room for like one that goes on the ground. So these are, again, you're creating interpretive markers and telling the story of your community through historic sites, and markers are a part of placemaking, right? You're giving people a connection to the place by doing these. And then of course, you probably know about the walking tours that we're working with them on. We've done 2 already, and we're getting ready for 3rd one. And then here's another place where you all have been amazingly instrumental. And I really hope we can keep these programs going. We've got so many of these traffic signal boxes. I'd like to get every one of them wrapped. And use we can use the wayfinding and placemaking funding if that's something y'all are interested in. The artistic crosswalks, I think that's another place we could do more. There's a second one of these that's in between the head shop and right there at Inglewood Parkway or Girard, and Broadway. So, and then amazing murals that y'all are working on. So thank you for that. And then a cool downtown, I'm gonna go really fast through this, but as you know, we didn't really have a defined downtown. We all kind of knew it was a 3,400 block, but really it was quite a bit bigger. And we knew that because we had 3 connected but unrelated business areas, this like hospital area, historic downtown, and then city center, but there was never any kind of crossover, lots of vacancy. no organized business community leadership group. And where we went, we have now a defined downtown district, 3 sub-districts, 1 downtown development authority, 65 million in pre-authorized bonding authority that the people that live and own businesses in this area gave us back in 2020, and 15 million in private construction activity since this was started. So just a tremendous amount of growth. How we got there, created the downtown master plan, totally citizen driven. You know, people that own businesses that lived in the downtown district. We also really engaged stakeholders. So you can see each of the sub areas, South Broadway, City Center, and the medical district, which is now called the Wellness District. People didn't really like living in a medical district, so we renamed it Wellness. But you can see we had really great representatives from each of those that were really driving the bus on this. We also, you know, had this election to create the Downtown Development Authority. It was really, this headline was from the second year when we went back and asked for the bonding authority. And then this is what the EDDA does. They focus on marketing, placemaking, mobility, economic vitality, downtown design, to really create a sense of unique, you know, place within the DDA. So I don't know how you all feel about this, but in our wayfinding plan, we kind of contemplated that the EDDA would have their own kind of look and feel. I think if we want a super cool downtown, we need to let them break from the mold of, you know, kind of a citywide effort and be really like, I'd like them to be like wild and crazy and interesting and unique. And so they're going to have kind of their own, you know, some of their own wayfinding that ties back to ours, but is their own kind of sense of place. So if you don't know, they're a quasi-governmental agency. They are appointed by, their board is appointed by the city council, but they really have a lot of autonomy and a huge amount of funding that they are getting from all the new development that's going on there. So key takeaways of everything that I've been talking about. Plan it. You got to have plans. I think y'all have done a great job of really planning what you want to do. We have to engage it, identify the stakeholders, form the committees like we've tried to do, and then we need to staff it. We need to fund it, and we need to promote it. So that's kind of the big picture in terms of what we've been trying to do over the last 4 to 5 years. And yeah, would love a discussion about what you think we should be doing. What should we do more of, less of?
So would you say like with having the EDDA sort of like their own entity that we need to be focusing some of our efforts outside of that zone? Because we usually focus in the in the zone.
Yeah.
3400 block.
Mhm.
And should we be thinking like more strategically outside of there for some of our initiatives, or like how do we approach their area, their territory?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. You know what I'm actually thinking as you ask that question is we probably need to have council add an EDDA board member as a liaison to this commission. And maybe even vice versa, because wow, there should be overlap, shouldn't there?
Yeah.
So I think, no, I don't think, and honestly, they're still a very new organization, and I think they welcome the initiatives, particularly, murals and things like that. Probably if we started getting into more kind of formalized, sculpture and things, they would probably want to have a hand in that or a say in that. So I'm not really answering your question, but we need overlap.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't, they don't seem territorial in any way. And in fact, they were like, we'll just use your wayfinding plan to put up a sign, to welcome to downtown. I'm like, I think you should probably be a little more, I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts on that? I think it's fine for them to have a connection into it, but we need downtown to even be like even a more unique place.
Yeah.
My thought.
Yeah, I would like to see a lot more of unique, and there is still a lot in that area that is empty.
Yeah.
And I would love to see that grow. I think having some more, shops and that type of thing. We have restaurants galore.
Yeah.
But having some more artistic shops, and I would love to see.
Well,
art
I mean,
shops and
even
that type of
like,
thing.
with Swallow Hill coming last month to present,
Yeah.
that is the potential for having that as even an anchor or some sort of artistic anchor is very intriguing. I think we've always been like very interested in having a library/art space that's specific gallery space, rotational, both like maker space and display space, but we don't have like a nonprofit or other means to get there at this point. Whereas some cities have been able to carve that out. But like that area, I mean, there's parking lot space galore to utilize.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a broader like D&I strategy we need to like kind of think about when we're planning projects or considering projects
On diversity, equity, inclusion.
for neighborhoods specifically or parts of town?
Yeah, so we have just completed, in fact, Christina is the executive sponsor of our DEI committee. We met today and started assigning tasks for that. I'll have to say that we've mainly focused internally on DEI. If you watch some of the kind of discussions with city council on that, there is actually opposition to some of our work and funding for a position that we tried to get related to that. And so instead of being more externally focused, which we would have had a bigger part of that, I think without kind of a robust council support of that, we've tried to make sure that at least internally, we're really trying to value diversity, equity, inclusion. So I think in terms of what y'all are working on, what I would say is that I'll tell you the same thing I told Historic Inglewood when, they're trying to put a museum on the second floor. We should be getting that council to vote on that on Monday night. But we've got to be thinking about different, instead of just like the white history from 1890 forward, like what was here before? We've got to be representing that in our cultural representation. When we talk about public art, what will send a signal that we are welcoming? What will send signals that we are, we have one of the higher percentages of Hispanic, Latino population in the state. I came from Longmont, which we were proud to be the highest percentage of that group. But we are one of the top cities in terms of diversity, and our school district is more diverse. How does our sense of placemaking represent that? That's one reason why you see the colored vines on our signage. We wanted to be kind of overt in how we said we're welcoming and inclusive. Plus, I always say we're not going to outclass Cherry Hills Village. And who would want to? We're gritty, we're quirky, we're interesting, we're diverse. Yeah, let's be who we are.
Is there a similar development program for the businesses on South Broadway and those places, or a business organization?
Yeah, no, is the short answer. And one of the things that we're doing that I've asked communications to do is start thinking about how we take our wayfinding placemaking onto South Broadway, particularly with banners. And we could get a little bit more large scale. In the downtown, you have zebra setbacks, but a lot of the stuff along South Broadway, you have big buildings are set back, so you can have much bigger banners on light poles and things. So we're working on how do we create at least some pageantry in that area, but there is no formal process. Though I will say, we did apply for a grant through CDOT and we got it to do a South Broadway complete streets that will redo sidewalks and benches, trash receptacles, maybe some better lighting and things. And we'll also repave South Broadway, which is a mess. So that's underway, and I think that's an opportunity to really start pushing more wayfinding placemaking in that area.
That's what I'm just wondering, I wrote some stuff down, is there some kind of philosophy or book that we could read, or some resource just to understand the principles of wayfinding and placemaking better?
That's a good question. I'll take a look at that. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Probably a college course you could take.
Another question on that, there used to be a conference on that, right, for the state? Is that something that's still happening?
No.
I know early when I first started, some of the members of the commission went to one of those things, and that was a concentration. I'm not sure if it was one on. Okay, that's fine.
So I know that murals have become such a big thing. And for me, I would love to see like bringing in the Hispanic culture into
Yeah.
some of those new murals and making sure that we like really try like give them the opportunities to Hispanic artists
Yeah.
and bring in their art
Mhm.
into our into that part of the downtown city. So
Yeah.
it feels very welcoming.
And I
as
think
well.
the board, the DDA board would love that too. Yeah.
I can also Google. Just.
Well, it's a good question. I mean,
Documentary.
I started kind of in this world
She
in
reads, yeah.
2000 actually, as a Main Street manager for a city in North Houston. And so it's just like been what I did for the majority of my career. So I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know where I picked
I'm
up.
a musician. I don't know
Yeah.
anything about that. Okay, I'll
History.
yeah, cool. Well, we have no shortage of mural requests, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
And whatever we can do to help, Christina knows, I'm trying to like get the purse strings released so that y'all can really think big and, you know, really think about cool things. I really do think that y'all are on a good track in terms of the kind of what I would call micro installations of like those traffic signals and the crosswalks. Sometimes those more subtle signs can be just as effective, particularly when there's kind of a concentration of them, than even just say like a big sculpture that you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on. And, you know, it might be cool, but what if like we had 10 cool crosswalks or 10 cool new, I also think places like the Dartmouth Bridge, where you go under Dartmouth, like I want to wrap those with something historic or that represents our carnations or whatever it is that, you know, tells the story of Inglewood, either past or current.
It seems like in the past, those boxes were wrapped. Didn't they have sponsors? to
They had MOA funds.
the MLA fund?
So we still only have a budget of like 12 grand a year, right? So
You had
Yeah.
8,500.
like,
That's why we're trying to look at this other funding.
We're like, do you have money?
That's what we need.
Yeah, because, I mean, I guess we could put out a call for those things.
yeah, the Dartmouth, I think, is probably a good one to target for like third, fourth, it's kind of, but fourth quarter maybe of this year, so that by the time that this spring weather comes around again for 2024, we're in a good place to have.
Now, we might be talking about two different things, because I talked to her about a mural as you come, you know, into
We are
town.
talking about different things.
Oh, and I'm talking about the posts, to wrap the posts, because you're sitting there in traffic forever, right? Trying to
Under
turn
the
on to Santa Fe.
underpass.
So what if we wrapped those things? We'd have to get permission from BNSF and everybody else, but I just think.
We just do it.
Big.
So, there's just so many places, like, look for places to like tell the story, right?
Faster forgiveness.
Yeah.
All right, well, sorry if I took too much time.
Well, thank-
That's awesome.
Now that's cool.
I'll have an update on that later.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That wasn't a fit.
Any other questions or comments? All right. On to the murals update, old business. I don't have a murals update.
No
Did she-
updates.
Did she send it over to get?
Yeah, that, yes,
It's
Posted.
been.
Okay, good. I didn't appreciate that.
that did go out.
I think the only update was just to see if it had been posted and all that stuff. So, am I supposed to talk about something specific? I don't remember anything that happened. Murals and Mason Jars Art College, that's been out. Future mural art. Well, it's, since there's some money from wayfinding and placemaking, that's just been the case. When I was thinking about the mural and mason jars thing, you know, there are 4 panels on that building. We donated, or not donated, but we gave $5,000 to that. Does that mean we're committed to giving $5,000 the next several years? And what kind of principles are we gonna go towards to put up murals at different places? That was just kind of a discussion I thought we should have. Things we should at least think about for
Well, she did specifically come to us this year, so it's not something that we agreed to for future years, but
Yeah.
they're huge murals. So I think also like we should see what we get this year to determine what subsequent years look like. She got, I think, 5,000 also from EDDA, I want to say, because I think I saw her post that it was a $10,000 stipend to the artist with 1,000 to,
Yeah,
right?
she got some money from.
Yeah, so there's
from-
there's a collective 11,000 for that one mural.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It
how
might
that-
actually be more than that.
Yeah, because the owner of the place also donated.
Oh, dang, okay.
Yeah, so I think it should be successful, but just because we have such a small budget in comparison to other years, and even with if we get the $11,000 that we expect, it sounds like that's what a mural costs, so we could spend all of our money on a mural every year. And I don't know that that's necessarily what we want to do, but are there ways that we can like get other money for murals? It sounds like that might be the case, so.
I think we set a little bit aside in the budget, right? Like we have
We have stuff that we haven't used.
but for like even for subsequent years, you can say like X percentage of your, we wanted to do it, X percent could go towards mural work. Or not.
Okay,
I forgot to mention on funding, and sorry, I'm rejecting Mr. Chairman. But we're also asking for another 100,000 in the CIP next year. So we haven't spent everything this year, although creating those 15 secondary gateways and 2
Yeah.
primary gateways is eating up a lot. But I think we even had 50,000 that we had committed to Christina for something.
For all of this.
Oh, for all of it.
Okay.
So if we want to do more murals or
Okay.
art,
Okay.
we may have 50,000.
But I will say we've scaled that back a little bit to maybe 25,000
25,000.
because
Take
we've
whatever.
gotten some of the
I'll take that.
requests. I think we're doing another round of historic marker stuff, so we might need some of that 50 back. But I think 25 for sure is available for y'all to do something with, and preferably this fiscal year.
well, and
This fiscal year.
this is, okay,
However, the mural call that's out right now for murals and mason jars, that's gonna help us, like you said.
Yeah.
To know what we can do, and there might be artists that we'll see that come in but are not selected, that we might be able to piggyback and take and say, hey, we've got X amount. Let's do 2 more murals or whatever it looks to be. So that's gonna help us out in the whole cost.
and Kyle and I were Kyle was trying to set up a meeting with Redline, just so we can get like them to tell us everything about murals, what's an appropriate price range, what's needed to and kind of talk to folks about that. So we'll let everybody know when that's happening. All can join, at least.
One of the great things for the new members about this commission is we have budget.
Yeah.
So unlike some of the other commissions, I mean, it's a good thing, it's a blessing and a curse, right? But it's nice because there's a lot of opportunity to impact do stuff and impact the community.
But for all the new folks on the commission, learn all you can about murals.
Wayfinding.
There you go, stop it. Wayfinding book.
We're gonna talk about them all the time.
I should mention the wayfinding and placemaking manual does have like a little primer.
Okay.
So I'll send Debbie the link to
Yeah, yeah,
that on
great.
her website.
All right, median art call.
The brief update. This piece sold,
Dang.
does not exist.
Oh,
no.
That's gone. He did send us some alternates. They're not colorful. They're two-tone color,
you
nothing
remake
like
that one?
this. He could recreate it if we really loved it, and sell it to us if that's something we want. This piece is on loan to Brighton until October.
Fine.
But when you think about permits and we're working through insurance and all this other stuff, it may take that long. So the goal is to try to get everything lined up so installation maybe happens first part of November.
Well,
And then we can move forward. But she's verifying a few things
Yeah.
with Debbie to make sure everything's all good. Worst case, we do have other options. We could go back out and look at the calls again, see if there's something different. But we'll keep you updated as we learn more information. But as of right now, we're shooting for a November installation for this piece.
I mean, the other piece, what was the price point on the other, the first piece? Like
The
10? 10.5?
This was, the first one's 9.5, and then this piece that sold was 9,000.
9,000?
Yeah, what about the trapeze? Because that was our third.
Because that was our
choice.
third favorite.
I do have
Yeah.
Megan's-
And that was 15,000 for that one.
the trapeze.
Yeah.
Is the trapeze available still, or do we know?
You know, I have not.
Okay.
We can reach out to him. It looks like it's located in St. Paul, Minnesota. So the big question we've had when we ask these artists is transportation. If that 15,000 includes getting that piece to Inglewood, and what that looks like.
But that second one, he's in the greater Denver area, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that other one was
So
Minnesota.
remaking it, if it's something we feel passionate about.
Oh, yeah, well, I wonder if he's not gonna remake it for 9,500.
Well, that would be that question.
1,000 because,
He did not say, and I'm happy to reach out to him tomorrow. He's very responsive, so.
We did let him know we wanted colorful, because what he sent was like,
Yeah.
black and white. We're like, no, colorful.
yeah,
I think that was what kind of drew us to it.
yeah.
So we'll check with him, see if he can do something like this or similar, if he doesn't want to replicate exactly. And then we'll check with the trapeze as well to see if that's.
I think he had two pieces that were submitted that were both very colorful, and the other one that he submitted may not have met like our top 3 or 5, but it is also very, it's similar in,
I liked the theme of
Was
this
it in
one.
the top 6?
I think it was.
It
I
was.
think both pieces were in the top 6 because there was
It
the
had to
balloon
be.
one and like the pin me down, wasn't it pin me down?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Names aren't on here, so I'm not sure which, there's no other colorful ones
Then it's,
for the top 6.
maybe it was on like the top when we were narrowing down.
yeah,
the other.
it was on the, like the top, like it was in the like final list of ones we were looking at, but just
Do you want me to pull that up?
might as well, maybe send it out and we can look at it, but that one may be available if we're, as a commission, agreeable to it.
It was not, he only offered that one other piece. I mean, I definitely will follow up with him, but he did not offer.
The other one that was available to
Not
me,
anything
maybe it's not available. Yeah, could be. That's fine.
I was kind of surprised when he came back and said it's sold, and then this other piece is on lease, like, put that in your notes, so we can plan. But that may be the challenges we move forward.
We
Also
have,
good to know when we're asking for existing art, right?
Correct. Is it available today? When's this soon as I can?
we have asked for pictures or a video of that piece since it has moved from
Over in
one location now to
Oh,
right.
okay.
Just to make sure that it's still in good condition.
Okay.
And you said it's Brighton or Breckenridge?
Brighton, but what they put on here was Loveland, so it's possible it's moved, and then when Debbie contacted her, she's like, I'm not sure where it is, I'll find out.
Great.
Brighton.
I found it.
On that note, like, we got 2 pieces and we have 3 medians, right? So at some point, we're gonna have to figure out how to do another call for that other median.
Can we find out about the trapeze?
Yeah.
If that's in Minnesota. I think that was a question we had, was if that one could be relocated or if it was in Colorado, because we weren't sure.
Yep.
All right, market grant application. We have stuff to vote on and select. Immersive art call for the block party. We have, looks like we have 1 applicant.
I liked his presentation, the immersive one. He was quirky. Although he's applying for the holiday market or the tree lighting, so that's the only, or wait, am I looking
No,
at the right one?
No,
No,
yeah, the
Katrina.
immersive art-
Wait,
The
I'm on the wrong
immersive.
page.
artist.
No,
Is it Katrina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's the one that has yellow.
That's kind of cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah, but we're talking about the interactive, right, for the,
Katrina applied for immersive too.
oh, is it immersive?
Yeah, Katrina Christopherson applied for the immersive art call. with the
Okay.
acrylic
It has not applied for any of the art
Acrylic pouring
grants.
programs, yeah. That's the only one Katrina applied for.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And it is the only applicant.
So we don't have much of a choice.
Oh, yeah. Well, whatever.
Their story's really cool.
Their
Yeah,
story is
it
awesome. I love the story.
I guess in the description, it's a 3 to 5 or even 7 people could be doing the same thing at the same time, and every painting would be different than the one next to it. So I'm guessing, I guess it says specifically what the plan is for the immersive art, but she's gonna put out several canvases, just have people coordinate with those. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure what happens to the paintings after that, or what the situation with those things are. Those might be things we want to clarify with her. Is it going to be art that is displayed here in the city for the city library or something? The stuff that she's going to keep.
I guess it would take home.
That's my
Well,
thought.
it's interactive with lots of people, so I think she's assuming community members will be pouring together, right?
That's what I'm assuming. It doesn't specifically say what the activity
Yeah.
is going to be in this.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool idea. I can kind of guess what that would be. And I like it.
I mean, it can maybe be with the library, like a temporary,
Yeah.
you know,
It can be anywhere. I mean, Maui.
Yeah,
totally.
so like hang it for 1 month, then give her
Rotating.
the paintings back or something after we're done. Yeah, or rotate for a minute.
Or do we, within all that, we purchase the supplies and it goes to the city and becomes city art?
Could be a fundraiser. Sell it too.
And yeah, it could be a
Promotion.
fundraiser. Yeah. I mean, those are things we could do. I think we just need to clarify a few of those things
Okay.
with her, if that's okay.
That's very
But, and that call is closed now, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so. I think with those clarifying questions,
I would also like to know how much support or help she's gonna need at this booth, because my gut is this project is going to need more hands than one person leading it. But I'm not sure. I don't know if she's done this before, but thinking about the amount of people traveling through the block parties.
Especially if there's children
who are going
to be participating.
for the new members, this is a thing that we sponsor for the block party that is participatory art for the community. And like, what did we do last year? It's like
We
a
did a
family
painting.
watercolor painting on cards. We've done chalk artists in the past. That's what's going on here. I just didn't hear these questions. What happens to the art?
And what happens to the art, and then how much support or help would she need?
Yeah, and is she able to provide all the supplies? Because that was in the call. Maybe clarifying.
That was part, okay.
Yeah.
And a description of exactly what's going to happen. That seems like just a clear description of activity.
Do you think pending like favorable responses, we should probably go ahead and approve it, because otherwise,
We've
it's,
got the August meeting. and-
yeah,
Yeah.
August meeting, and this is in
At the end of the
August.
I-
Can we do that if the responses aren't what we expect?
Well, we gave budgetary parameters. I think it'll just be as long as there's going to be sufficient staffing for help at the booth. And then I don't really have a preference on what happens to the art, like it could live within the city, it could live. I don't.
Last year, didn't they take the cards with them?
Yeah, last year
Yeah.
was take.
But I guess it wasn't like
It was-
acrylic paint, it was watercolor.
But it was so different because that one was more of a kid experience where they were coming and adults and kids could all do their own watercolor. And the idea of that one was that the artist was mixing their art with the community. So the community got to paint on Lexus's
Got it.
art card. Like she created all the stocks of her images.
I mean, I think ideally we'd keep these somewhere.
I think that would be the best idea.
Yeah. Be able
They
to
turn out
display
cool.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, like only the
Right.
I maybe older Christina.
I mean, they can still, they can live within
Anywhere.
We have options.
anywhere.
If it's something that the city gets to keep afterwards and, yeah.
I guess too, I would ask her then if she's okay if we ever auction or sell them off. Like if we keep them, but then if there's a point where we're done storing them and we decide to sell them, is that gonna be it could be a fun fundraiser.
To buy more art.
Do I need to communicate with them?
I'm happy to reach out to her, but if you would like to, do you want me to go ahead and then
Sure,
just
yeah,
email
that's-
you guys?
That's fine.
So are we gonna do a motion tonight?
Yeah, I think,
Do we need to motion? We were approved
I think we
the,
need to motion to award the money to.
award the money,
Yeah, definitely you would need to do a motion.
We already
to award it.
to award it.
A motion for that.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, 1,000 going to Trina Christopherson for the immersive art at the block party. The next one, August market applicants. Also fairly easy because there are two artists, money for two artists and two artists applied. Caleb. I don't know if it's Sony. And Sean Barrett. Sean's art was, Sean's art is cool. It's on his site. You have to go to the site to look at it. Did it, everybody?
Yeah.
I think we probably just need a motion to approve the money for support those two for the August market.
Are we supporting two?
Yeah. Set aside money for two artists and two artists have applied.
A motion.
Second it.
They're both neat.
Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That one carries two. Block party applicant.
Can I back up for a second?
Yep.
Quick question on these for the market. So is that $50 to support their event fee?
I think that's right. It's the money. I think that's right.
Because I waived the app.
Because you waive
and
the
that was
app,
the
but
amount.
they still have to get the tax.
But they have to pay.
Right, that was my other question. Are they selling? Is
Yeah.
it-
I
Okay,
think, we'll need to
Yeah.
communicate that to them.
I need them to fill out an application and submit stuff, so I'm happy to reach out to them if you want to send.
Yeah.
But do you guys like notify them like that they've been selected or?
I can do that and then I can,
I'll send you an email of what you can attach to like, you've been selected, now do this.
Yeah.
Does that work? Okay,
Okay.
cool. Thank you so much.
Yep. Then the block party applicants support two artists at $100 for the event fee. We have 5 applicants. Some of which apply for other things. Let's see. Amanda Freeman, theirs was the like art supply shop, like used art supplies. Did anybody look at that? They have a-
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if they have a storefront or it's just-
I couldn't.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Let's see. Dave, 9, that's cool. That's good. Katie Cruz is the tie-dye. Which I have not been in that store, but I looked at the pictures on the site.
I have.
Now I have to go to that store.
Awesome stuff.
My 4-year-old loves tie-dye. And Kevin Donaldson. This was really cool. It's recycled.
I agree. Are we doing 1 or 2 for the block party?
Steve.
There's a 2.
Yeah, okay. Who's our, for the block party? Is that one of the other?
What, like Sean.
Oh, it's already
Yeah.
approved.
So, and Sean is wanting to go to the August market. So I don't really know how we should do this.
I think where I'm struggling is they're all so extremely different.
Yeah.
And like I don't even know that I'm comparing apples to apples.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I'm just kind of surprised what showed up, which is awesome because it's different, but
Also, I will point out that some of them are only available for the block party.
Yep.
And some of them are also available for the holiday market, and
Oh,
so.
yeah.
maybe we do holiday
Let's see
market
if we
and
can
block
do
party,
that.
like award split them.
Yeah, are we talking about the holiday market this?
Current,
No.
No.
we're not.
Deadline
I didn't think so,
is
yeah,
end of September.
yeah, okay.
Currently, we had about applications for the holiday
Oh,
market. Though some of those,
Yeah, are
okay.
here too.
So-
Okay, okay, good to know.
So what super excites me is we do have people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Great.
Katie's saying, because she's already.
Should we just go around and give our top two or what? Do tally?
do you want me to do? Kind of do, go around asking and like your top two choices?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Okay, oh my God.
Don't start with it.
I'll start.
I wasn't sure if everybody was ready.
Oh,
Okay, Stacy.
I picked Kevin and Katie.
I also picked Kevin.
And then Katie. Okay.
I also picked Kevin and Katie.
Oh my God.
Oh, you don't have to.
Oh no, what did I miss?
Kyle, do you have?
Yeah, I'll go with Kevin and Katie as well.
Oh dear. I like Amanda because she's only available for the block party, and I think that that's such a unique, cool thing to have, and to have people be able to see it would be cool. And I like Kevin as well, but that could also be cool for the holiday market, so I'm not making a decision. Let's see. Those two, Amanda and Kevin are my two.
Okay, thanks.
So sorry, had to process that.
Leah.
Kevin and Diva or Deva.
Definitely Kevin. And really, I think it's Katie. Kevin and Katie.
I would put one towards Amanda, but Kevin.
Okay. So Amanda has two. Katie has 4. No, 3. Right. 3.
I tapped 4 for Katie.
4 for Katie.
One for Katie.
Yeah.
Did we get Sean in the, he also put the August market.
Right.
Yeah, Sean's.
It just makes sure. And voice.
So
Like,
it-
what's happening?
does anybody want to change? I mean, right now it's Kevin and Katie. They have the most votes.
She was charged an application fee and the other. So I'll need to waive that now.
Okay, then we would just need a motion to move forward.
A motion.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay. Those two.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Wait a second.
Okay.
Thanks.
Aye.
All opposed. Okay. Wish we could just give them all money. Cool. That's all. Upcoming events.
So many. We have a concert and happy hour tomorrow night. We had our first one last week, which went really well for it being the first one. So Devil's Head is, excuse me, our alcohol provider for happy hour. And then Breckenridge comes and is the provider for the concerts as Pirate Youth Sports as the nonprofit. So that's super cool. And then we have one every Thursday in July. So tomorrow night will be number 2, and then we'll have 2 more. Tomorrow night is Trevor Michael. Next week is A Brothers Fountain, and the last week is Delta Sonics. So they're all super fun bands. And then we have the market coming up on August 5th, getting ready already for the block party. It's gonna be great. I know working with the Grand already on the permit, and they're getting all the other alcohol vendors in town on board. And then the chamber is also doing, I believe, don't quote me on this, but a VIP cocktail lounge-esque thing at the north end. So that's gonna be fun, and it's gonna stretch the block party from last year it was 34 plus half of 33. Now it's gonna be 34 and 33. So we're just expanding a little bit every year. So that's super exciting. Different band every hour, hoping to have the high school drum line or marching band roaming up and down while the bands aren't playing. We'll have the stage on one end and an LED screen on the other. And lots of food trucks.
Can you remind me the date of this?
August 26th.
Thank you.
Let me double check.
Yeah.
Now that I just said that.
You're good.
Because I'm like, I swear that the Coke just said they have an adult night, but maybe theirs is the 25th.
It's an idea.
Yes.
Okay. I'm like,
Cool.
well, that's not gonna work. You can't have an
Nice.
adult night then.
Staff's choice.
Beth, do you have any updates from the library art stuff?
No, not really. We didn't have a lot of submissions for summer, so we're just kind of rolling everything into the next one that will start in August, I think. So we're just kind of rolling it all in. So nothing for the summer. We just didn't have a lot of interest in the summer theme.
What, are you doing an opening again for August?
Yeah, I believe it's gonna, because I had some submissions early on for the August theme. And so we're just gonna, the ones that I got, one person from the first show submitted just a random piece for the summer. She's like, here, you can use this for the summer, but it was really the only one I got. So she just emailed me the other day to find out if I was gonna like hang it or if she should just come and get it. So I need to reach out to her and find out if she wants to leave it until August or if she does, need it or want it back now. I can't remember how many submissions we got for the August one. I haven't looked back at my spreadsheet since then. And so then I was going to do like a new kind of round of calling for submissions for the August theme, starting on next week, I think on Monday or Tuesday.
Are you
Oh, I
good?
guess no, maybe this weekend because it's the 15th. I was waiting till like the 15th of August. So I think that's Friday.
Are you gonna have an art opening event on one of the days? If that.
Yeah,
if
we'll
that-
probably do a Thursday evening again at like 5:30 to
Okay.
6:30. I don't remember the exact date that I was thinking that hold on, let me pull up the calendar real quick, but it would probably be a couple weeks into the month. So probably not until like August 17th.
Okay, then we can find out in August. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the only update I have is kind of what Sean mentioned. We've been working with communications, city manager's office, for the wayfinding placemaking funding to allow us, to go outside of the normal CAC budget to potentially fund some more opportunities. So I think we keep moving forward as these calls come out. If we see things we like, we can definitely maybe reach out for some other projects that weren't part of that call and see if they're interested in doing more art here.
Do you have like a top spot that you really want, like a mural or something?
I think the big one that Sean keeps bringing up is the Dartmouth Santa Fe, doing something like a welcome to Inglewood there. I like the idea of wrapping those posts on the bridge area, but I don't know what that would entail or cost to do something. Fourth Dimension Wraps is somebody that Tony's been trying to work with. They might have a product that could work to do art, but not an artist painting, something that could take a long period of time.
Did we hear back from her on their mural needs?
No, not yet. Tony had actually asked them to look into doing some sort of mural wrap on the back of the amphitheater that is very Inglewood-esque. So when you take a picture of the band on stage or either for events, it's also tagging Inglewood, but she's still waiting to hear back from them on that as well to see if it's even possible. Although that'd be another great spot for a mural that gets tagged a lot. And I know murals don't get tagged as often. I know we've experienced tagging on the one that's along Little Dry Creek there. But for the most part, I think that may be left alone. The Inglewood Environmental Foundation at their next meeting, not sure when it's happening, they're gonna be talking about the mural on the side of this building that was presented to you all at a prior meeting, to do something where it's photograph worthy, where you, like the wings or whatever, you can stand in front. And so as soon as that gets approved, we have an intern that's ready to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
What was the place you said? I was right. The place before that gets tagged on.
Oh, the amphitheater here,
Okay,
that wall there.
okay.
It's a nice blank canvas.
Okay, cool. Commissioner's choice, the announcements. Thanks, everybody. We can adjourn at 6:51. See you next month.
Hi, Deb.
Which one is it?
Well, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.